All right, hello guys. Welcome to another episode of the Football Fan Zone. It's always glad to be with you again on another weekend. Don't forget, as usual, before we start the show, always make sure to, if you like our content, make sure you hit the like button, you subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you drop us a comment. We'd like to hear from you on your thoughts on what you think.
Even if you don't like the content, I beg, just like somebody else will like it, I beg.
Exactly. Okay, all right. So this weekend we have Uzo here with me. Uzo, the Tottenham fan. Uzo, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Considering life is the same as always.
As a Tottenham fan.
Same as always as a Tottenham fan. But we'll bounce back. I've had better weeks, but at least now I'm getting my joy from Nigeria going through to the next round. So
Nice,
we
nice.
move.
We move. Okay. Chooks is just joining us again this week. Chooks, how are you doing?
I mean, I'm great, man.
Don't want to start to
Nigeria,
spoil your mood.
no, it's not come and disgrace me. Nigeria bored. I
But
wish
so
every weekend, if every weekend can be like this,
Abby.
to be good.
I'll be a happier man. I won't age.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. All right. So this weekend will be our focus will be on so there's been less of football action. The Premier League is kind of like on break. So this weekend was the FA Cup, some few fixtures. Tottenham were in action, Liverpool in action. But our focus would be more on the big news from this week. Jurgen Klopp, the man, the legend, Jurgen Klopp, announced that he's going to be leaving Liverpool Football Club at the end of the season. It's been as a Liverpool fan, the news came to me as a shock. So we're going to be dissecting that. What has been Jurgen Klopp's legacy? Where would you rank him in the ranks of like Premier League greats? We'll also be touching on the AFCON as well. Nigeria is through to the quarterfinals of the tournament. What are Nigeria's chances of winning the trophy? All right. So that's what's going to be on the agenda today. So let's start off with Jurgen Klopp. Jurgen Klopp announced that he's going to be leaving Liverpool at the end of the season. Body blow to a lot of Liverpool fans. As a Liverpool fan, I'll say Jurgen Klopp came in and resurrected the club. The club was in like the doldrums prior to him joining. I think it was, if I'm correct, the 8-9 years preceding when he joined, Liverpool had won just one trophy, the Carabao, the League Cup, the Carling Cup as it was known that time, but now the Carabao Cup. So we're down, we're eighth on the Premier League table. I think our average position was like eighth in the Premier League table as well. So we're like a mediocre mid-table club. We had only qualified twice for the Champions League, like 10 seasons as well. So the club came in. I remember his first press conference, telling the fans, that it's time for us to stop doubting and start believing. So it was something that's best for me personally. I felt it was the right appointment at the time. I was so excited to hear that the club had agreed with him, and then he was coming to Liverpool. I felt he was someone that had that character, especially with the story with his what's it called now? His Dortmund antecedent, coming to Liverpool. I felt it was a similar kind of story. So he had that background on how to like lift up the club, and I think I turned out to be right, at the end of the day. So he ended up with right now he's on a 60% win rate for Liverpool in his Liverpool career, so which is not bad as well. And he also, I think, he has won all trophies on offer. I think apart from the Europa League, which we're hoping he'll add to his catalogue before he leaves this season. All right, okay, so enough from me. Let's hear what the guys have to say. Let me start with Uzo. I think the question I'll ask you is Jurgen Klopp. So from his appointment to where we are now, what have you made about his Liverpool reign? Did he achieve what you expected him to achieve, or did he underachieve in his 9 years in Liverpool? Or what were the mistakes he made? Maybe he made throughout his career at Liverpool, and that ended up with the number of trophies he has now. Could they have done something different to have won more trophies? What do you think?
Yeah, he absolutely is a legend for sure. He's going to go down as one of the greatest managers, at least at the bare minimum. And this is just off the top of my head. I'm not trying to start any agenda or anything, so you can agree or disagree. But he's at least firmly a top 10 manager of all time in Premier League, right? Like at least that. I'm sure he's going to be higher, but I'm just throwing that in there because I don't feel like thinking of all the different managers right now.
Not top five.
He probably is top five, but like I said, I'm struggling to try to think of who would be my top five, top four based on their reign, etc. But he's at the bare minimum top 10, which makes him easily a legendary manager. Because when you think of the fact that there's probably 30, 40 different managers in the Premier League in any given decade or period, to be top 10 of all time minimum is a great thing in and of itself. As far as expectations, I actually quite liked Liverpool under Brendan Rodgers, right? And I thought that team always kind of they were always on the cusp, right? They always had potential, almost like something that's been said about Spurs. And if you really think about it, Klopp got hired around the time that Pochettino was kind of like in the middle of his prime. And we kind of felt like the stories were a little similar in terms of the crossroads that both clubs were at, and to see where Liverpool have gone since then versus where Spurs have gone, that just kind of encapsulates the impact that he was able to bring to the club. Because I think prior to Jurgen Klopp's reign at Liverpool, you could have easily accused Liverpool of the exact same things you've accused Spurs of bottling things and not winning anything significant for a long stretch of time and being kind of like a fallen giant in a sense, right? So what he's done contextually will never get the credit that it deserves, because when you look at the success, the actual numbers that he put on the board, they'll obviously pale in comparisons to many other great managers that we've seen in this league. But when you add the context of what he picked up and the amount of mentality that he had to instill in the team to get them to begin to compete at the level that they were, and then you add the fact that he was going up against arguably the greatest manager that we've ever seen in the Premier League, um, you can make a more cogent analysis of his reign when you look at it in that context. But that's not what's going to happen. We know how football works. Football is about wins and losses. It's about numbers. It's about trophies. It's about decoration and silverware. And so, unfortunately for him, he'll never get the credit that he rightfully deserves in terms of looking at him from an all-time perspective. But I do think that, of course, he's going to be completely immortalized and legendary in the eyes of Liverpool fans. He's also going to get the credit for his success, even despite all of the obstacles. Just the success that he has brought is going to place him in all-time conversations. So even though he may not get like the very, very top remarks, I think people are going to look back on his reign fondly. And I thought that he was pretty much faultless in the entirety of his tenure at Liverpool. I think he always had his team ready to play. Liverpool were probably one of the most difficult teams to play against during his entire stretch in the Premier League. He made Anfield a complete, I don't know, cauldron of just no one ever wanted to go play them, right? He made it a fortress. It was is a place where you've set some insane winning streaks, some insane unbeaten streaks, and it's a place where nobody ever wants to go. And that's credit to him. That's credit to his mentality and the mentality that he's instilled in the football club. And he's developed and enhanced some of the greatest players of this generation as well. So yeah, I think people will look back on his reign fondly. I think if you're looking at some of the mistakes that he made, for one, I think the number one mistake that he made would be coming to a league where Pep. Well, I guess he came before Pep, so he didn't know the guy was going to be here. But yeah, coming here knowing that this bald guy was going to be here to absolutely shit on everything that he did, that would be one mistake that he made. And also going to a club like Liverpool that wasn't going to spend the required amount to keep him in the conversations that he would have needed to be kept in. Because I do think that a lot of what he did despite FSG, not with their help. So I look back on his career, and he's not my favorite manager. Obviously, I don't like the guy because just from a tribalism and a rivalry standpoint, he's given me some of the worst moments of my life as a Spurs fan. So I can't look back on him with any fond memories, but I can look back on him with a lot of respect and with a lot of like reverence for his time here. So we won't miss you, Klopp. Sincerely, all rivals. But thank you for the time that you spend in this league, and thank you for continuing to push the league forward.
Absolutely. Well said towards the end there, Amuzo. Chooks, So, what are your own thoughts on Jurgen Klopp? What do you have to say?
Yeah. Let me bring some context in here because I just heard Uzo get on his knees and do some
Here
craziness.
we go. Here we go. Can we at least respect the man first before we start? Before we start banter.
No, but I'm saying like I heard you say some crazy things. I don't think he's top 10. One, just because like the numbers show two out of the leagues he lost, he was leading going into New Year, and you lose the league by like 1 point. That's on you. The results you can get. I don't think he was ever like a serial winner. He only has one prem. Guys like Mourinho have a lot more. Mancini has a lot more than him. He has the same amount of prems as Ranieri. So the whole talk of like,
No, I
you're
think
saying, like,
Ranieri has two, I
Ranieri
believe.
has two. So it's
He
like
has
even
one with Chelsea and one with Leicester, no?
top five. I'm like I can't sneak him into top five. I get from a Liverpool point of view, changing culture, turning the team around. Yeah, like you're supposed to like the guy, but let's not lie and make him into something he's not. He was one of the first. He has bottled two leagues. He has been to three Champions League finals. Right, lost two. So I don't get where the whole serial winner thing is coming from, or all that kind of talk. Especially in the league, like I get people want to talk about FSG whatever, but you went into some of those league campaigns like far ahead of City and have shown that you can keep the same consistency in terms of winning games. I remember I think it was the 18-19 where all those draws and everything, like somebody in the world of sports, somebody has to be held accountable for that. And I feel like those things will be used against him when you want to talk about like all timers, people that either stayed at clubs for a long time or won a bunch of stuff. When you really do break it down, like the quote unquote Pep Klopp era, it's hard to even defend Klopp because he didn't win much in that era. But personally, I I would say I don't really hate Jurgen Klopp. He has charisma. And I like managers, footballers that have charisma. Like, I don't like people that are just robotic. Like he doesn't just sit there. He gives a lot of one thing I will miss is some of his post game quotes when he doesn't win games. One of my favorite was the Burnley game where he came out and was like that. If this is football, he doesn't want to play football anymore. And then goes to the Champions League and does exactly the same thing Sean Dyche did. So characters like that, we won't see him anymore. But let's not lie about the guy. Top 10, come on, come on.
So who would be your top 10? Because
He's
I
not
know
a top
part of the
10.
thing that
Wow.
Paya said was that we should rank him. So maybe we can get into the conversation of like
Yeah,
who
that
are the
would
10 greatest Premier League, because it's Premier League, right? I
yeah,
wouldn't put him top 10 all time, but Premier League, I think.
yeah, top
Wow.
top 10 Premier League. Would have to sit down and do some research. But I can already off my head. I can
He's
already
But
not
say
in the top 10.
six, eight.
you're not putting Ranieri ahead of him though, because he's ahead of
Premier,
Ranieri in trophies all time.
I'm saying in
Like,
Premier League, like all
yeah.
like strictly just Premier League.
No, I'm saying like, but Premier League includes the domestic competitions as well, which Ranieri never won.
Yeah, but I'm saying what Ranieri did at Leicester in 1 year is better than any of the 7, 8 seasons Klopp has had at Liverpool.
Wow.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say
I,
that.
Wow.
I, I
No.
would I would say that what he
Okay,
did that
why?
1 year with
Why?
Leicester.
Why would you say that?
Nothing that particular like Premier League trophy is far more in terms of like I would say degree of difficulty. Like Klopp had how many months break, the whole COVID thing, players not wanting to play, then came back. Like, come on.
I mean, it's an argument. That's
Yeah,
fair.
I'm saying
It's an
it's an
argument.
argument. It's an argument. I
But
feel
so
I believe.
objectively, you'd put you think Ranieri would be ahead of him in terms of
yeah,
Premier
yeah.
like.
In the list,
Okay.
if if you
Wow.
are not allowing all of Klopp's antics to fool you,
I'm not gonna lie. This is going to cause a lot.
no, but
Okay.
I'm
So,
This is
saying
going to be controversial.
okay.
if
So
if
sorry, Chooks.
if you are not
Sorry.
allowing his antics to fool you, just manager, just in terms of just Premier League alone.
Hmm.
If you're saying like all time, like what you did in Germany, in Europe, yeah, obviously, like Klopp is a better manager. I'm saying, but I'm isolating it strictly just to the Premier League campaigns, like
Wow.
season by season by
So
season.
Ranieri, Mancini, all these guys will be ahead of him for you.
Ferguson,
Carlo. So you put Carlo ahead of him too, huh?
Prem, But
Yeah.
I'll put Ange ahead of Carlo. What did Carlo do in Prem?
No, Carlo won the league with Chelsea.
You won't leave with Chelsea, yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking of his Everton stints. My bad.
Yeah, no. We're not talking about his cup of coffee.
I forgot.
You forgot that he
Bro,
Carlo was just doing side missions at the end.
sorry to
He was just
sidetrack.
doing side missions.
That particular clip is so funny to me. Guy scored game winner and he was drinking coffee.
Wow.
Fergie,
um,
Wenger, Mourinho, Pep,
of course, those
Mancini,
4,
Ranieri.
5,
That's
6.
that's
That's
six.
6.
With color, I don't know because one thing I will give Klopp to is how close he was. But then it's like I'm also thinking 2 of those titles you should have won. Like you lost by 1 point. Like
But
you
then
should
again,
have.
as Liverpool fan, like other Liverpool fans will say, City have charges, you know. We can say City cheated to win some of these titles.
That, no,
That is
but all
true.
that is just excuse.
It's not an
At the end
excuse
of the day,
because
all that.
no, look at this now. If they find City guilty, you will say that
Mhm.
it's and they won title with that.
But their charges didn't have to do with on the field stuff. Though. That's the difference. Their
Yeah,
charges had to do with revenue, and that's why like even when they were saying like would they like
There's also like
vacate some of the titles, I'm
it
like
will follow because if you're gonna like how will I put it now? It has a ripple effect. Like
that's not true though. Like if we're being objective,
what?
right? A lot of their cheating has to do with their financial sustainability. But on the
Also,
pitch, as far as the sporting, what I'm saying, but as far as the sporting integrity part of it, right? It doesn't really have any bearing because again,
no, I don't think so.
remember,
I might be wrong, but I think the whole revenue and it's because of all that they're able to go on and sign all those players that they eventually end up
I
signing.
mean,
Is that not how it
see, all
works?
those, all
If
those
you
ones is
cheated
part of.
in that revenue, then you cheated
I mean,
in the signings that you made.
all what I'm hearing is a certain team from North London too go and carry trophy from last season.
hey man, hey, we also are owed a Carabao Cup, man. Come on, bring it on,
People want to come, the rest of us
bring
are collecting tray. People want to come and collect kettle.
bring it.
It's-
Bring me my piece of meat. Bring it.
Oh
all
my
of
goodness.
all of that is just excuses at the end of the day because you are comfortably ahead in most of those title races, and then maybe for whatever reason you slip up, and Pep he has done it how many times? Twice, where he has hawked the same team back from being like a good 7 to 6 points behind you. That's like 2 games, so he's like 2 games behind you, and he catches up.
I
That
think the other one that they lost by 1 point, Liverpool were behind and hawked, but they never led that season. They never led the title race that season. They were
Yeah.
14 points behind, I think, in
Then
January.
what happened in the one that Man U finished second? I think they were having a bad. I
That
even
was the injury. That was the Virgil injury
for
season
the injury
when
season.
United finished second.
Yeah,
The
Yeah,
Virgil injury season they finished second, and then last season they had stinky,
be honest,
stinky.
as a Liverpool fan, you are supposed to think of him a lot more differently because when if I want to assess a manager objectively, I'm not thinking about culture. It's like if I was to assess Arteta,
But see the top 10 thing, you can see like he's still comfortably top because you named 6 guys
oh yeah,
definitively and then 2 maybes. He's still definitively top 10.
we'll have to scrutinize it, but
Unless you want to bring guys like Andre Villas-Boas and
yeah.
guys like Benitez, the Champions League. But yeah, it'll be a different like lens looking at it as a Liverpool fan and like as a rival. But the guy, one thing I will say is he should have won a lot more than he won.
Yeah.
And I feel as a Liverpool fan, you should agree with that he got
Yeah, I agree.
he got into so many like conditions where he could have seen it through and gotten a lot more than just
for the first like 3 or 4 years of his tenure, he was a bridesmaid. He kept losing in semifinals or finals.
Yeah.
I remember that like there was actually a thing where it was like, can he actually win a final? And of course, he broke that against Spurs, of course, which I don't even know if that counts. I don't even know if that counts because besides beating Spurs in the finals and beating
like
Chelsea twice, he hasn't beat anyone good.
second rematch against Madrid, screaming at what you guys went to do because you, in my opinion, were the better team and should have won that game.
I just
But do you think that if they would have won the league, they would have been more up for it? In that, like the disappointment of losing the league by 1 point before the big final. You know what I mean? Like
no,
I don't know.
I don't think that
I mean,
mentality.
I don't think that should matter.
Yeah,
Like you've seen Pep
no.
do it now. He's lost to Marseille or Lyon in a two-leg Champions League draw, and still go on to go and win. Like
I mean,
losing.
we saw Liverpool do that technically because the year
Yeah,
that they lost by 1 point, they went on to win the Champions League against us. So
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I would say somewhere in the middle of like underachieving in a sense, like just because of how well they were playing. Like as you said, like the win streaks. I think they are in the ones in the Premier League. Four
yeah.
out
It's
of
still
the five is all Liverpool in terms
yeah.
of
Liverpool and City, the longest winning streaks in the
yeah
Premier
the
League.
longest winning streaks. So it's like you've shown you can go machine for machine with Pep, but I guess Pep just had that little edge to edge the guy away from winning more than one Premier League. Which is why
Yeah,
this season I feel if you want to send him off correctly, you have to win the Premier
so
League.
so so then let me ask: if he wins the Premier League this season
I was
and
just
So
a
about
yeah,
to.
domestic trophy, does he jump to the top five or is he still like around that top? Who does he pass for you? Because let's say the top four, right, is Mourinho, Wenger, Sir Alex, and Pep, right? I,
Yeah,
I doubt he's passing any of those four, right?
yeah, even with two. Wait, let's actually we should have an episode on this to actually
Okay.
I need to sit down and really write
research
down
on it.
my
Because the two on the bubble will be Mancini and Ranieri for you so far that you've said Mancini and
yeah.
Ranieri. Does he pass those two with one? With one more?
One more year he has to. Especially because you know me, I'm a big context guy. Like if you do it against potential I mean treble winners one, and also guys that are looking to win their fourth in a row and they're on record saying that they are chasing a fourth trophy, and you spoil that, that has to edge you in. Also considering the first one you won was during COVID.
Yeah. So one for the fans, like one
No,
actually for the fans.
I don't like when people say it was during COVID. We're already like 20. There was no how we're going to. We're already like 20 something points when
Don't
COVID
say
came.
there was no how you were going to bottle it because it's not like you
I
were
know
not
how
known
we
for
are, but
bottling.
come on, you know. I mean,
It's
we
not
not
like you were not known for
please,
bottling.
please.
You would have
I mean,
found a way.
there was no way. But as rival fans, you must always bring that COVID, and I understand.
we,
Even
we just know that your fans didn't see that trophy. That's all we know. So he
yeah,
won it for his pocket. He needs to win one for the fans. You know what? Actually, Chooks, I've come over to your side. Klopp, he needs to win one for the fans
Like if you
because
sit down and think of it, like it's not what I'm saying my sound like I'm hating. And if I wanted to hate, I'd have probably said something crazy. But I'm actually being very objective. Like if he wants to go off and be remembered fondly by everyone, because Liverpool fans are going to remember him whether he wins the league or he doesn't. But to go down into legend, win this one for the fans.
and like right now you can say, okay, they have a clear lead at the top. If he bottles this one, right, then I'm sorry, like your legacy will have to be revised because for one, this is your send off. So the players are emotionally
You
invested
already
in
come out to
you.
say it
They're
too.
playing for you, right? So if you bottle this one, I think I think I would personally, it would basically he has a chance to do one thing at the end of this season. Is either change his narrative or cement it forever in terms of the Premier League and the way that we analyze him. So no
And
pressure.
I want to be on record. I want to be on record saying I'm full time hating. There's a popular Lord of the Rings quote that goes, it said that the wine of victory is sweetest for those whose bitter trials it has fermented. And those Liverpool tears are going to ferment in May. I will be there. I will
Wait,
be
say that quote again. Say that quote again. That might be a caption. I beg,
there.
we need that.
It is said that the wine of victory is sweetest for those in whose bitter trials it has fermented.
Ooh,
Yeah, so
man, oh, man.
I am fully ready for
Dios, you must. You must.
I'm fully ready to drink fire's tears. I'm going to use it to make Zobo.
I'm
In
not.
May.
I'm just going. That's not going to happen now. Like I meant, like I said this season, like the first. I think it's the first episode of this show this season that Liverpool is winning the league, and I still stand by it. I think we're still going to win it, the Premier
Well,
League.
here no, we're not going anywhere. One thing
Yeah,
the future doesn't lie. So we'll see who lies between you and what will happen in May.
He may
But
just yeah.
it'll be good for the fans for club. Yeah, I mean every person will be salty, but if he wants to get the proper, legacy send off, and not
Yeah.
them having comes of him just celebrating against West Brom, he should.
But also, like, another reason why like him announcing this is strange is, now this gives Pep all the inspiration that he needs to want to win this league even more, because if there's one thing we know that Pep enjoys more than his own victory, is the tears and the sadness and despair that he can create in those who hate him. Like he yearns for it, he desires it, and so him getting four in a row to shit on Sir Alex's legacy, and you see he's called out guys like Carragher, he's called out guys like Neville. He's specifically
Yeah.
spoken about this four because he wants you to know that he's rubbishing your greats, right? They now add that to the fact that he chased this yellow teeth guy away from the league, and then he snatches the league from him in the last season that the guy is saying he's running out of energy. He's going to live for it. So I think what Klopp has done is he's made this more pressure filled for Liverpool fans, for the players, because now they have to deliver. Because whereas you would have said Liverpool have a 2-3 year window to win, they now have a 1 year window or a 6 month window. This is your window. If you don't win now, you can't win again for him. It has to be for the next manager, and it's going to be a different structure, a different journey, something completely germane to the club. So we'll see.
In some sense, I actually do like that Klopp did that. Like, there's no better way to slay the big bad than come out and announce that this is your last attempt. So it can work both ways. Like, either he slays him or he doesn't. Me, I'm honestly fine with whichever outcome. Either we will celebrate with Pius or we will slap the guy. Whichever
Yeah,
one.
either way, this is what greatness is about, right? Push all the money to the middle of the table and let's see
Yeah,
who
push
has the
everything.
courage of conviction. Yeah, let's do it.
It's
I
honestly
think I think he's made the league more fun now. Like, the rest of the season is going to be very, very interesting.
Klopp is honestly a good man. It's like what Jordan said. A good man doesn't start trash talking when he's ahead. You do it when it's level playing field. Now nobody really knows who's going to win the league. Let's say he said it like
Right,
when they are like in April. Let's say they are like
right.
uh,
7 points clear. Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
this
exactly.
is honestly more ballsy. Like I wake Pep, let it be truly be one last dance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pio, sorry. I know you were expecting that you will come here and will tell you that he's
No,
raising shoulder with Sir
I had to say
Alex.
things straight, man.
But
You were going
I mean,
off.
no, but you agree with me though. He is top 10. Like from our analysis, like we can't think of 9, 10 people better than him that have coached in this league. So
Well,
I think you still, yeah.
yeah, sorry, I want to say my own point of view is top five, but well, we'll continue.
So for you, he's above Mancini even right now.
Of course, it's above Mancini. What is you guys are
I
carrying
don't
the
know
weight.
that's Mancini won a league over Fergie, man.
Yeah, like people are acting like
To
like
me, anybody who won a league over Fergie is in a different class, you know.
he's still on from
A league
Fergie.
over Fergie and a league over Pep. What's
But I'm saying like those stole it in dramatic fashion too. Klopp was getting his Johnson and Johnson vaccine when people were
come
supposed to be
on,
doing parade.
come on? Something that the gap was
I'll say this: Mancini and Ranieri is a toss up, but for me, you can argue he's top five, cool, but you can
yeah.
also argue for those two guys because at the end of the day, as far as numbers on the board, like he's only got
He only
the
got one.
one to their one. Yeah, they all have one, so it's about which one do you think is more impressive. And honestly, if we're being objective, right, Pius, like the Mancini's and Ranieris are more memorable than Klopp's. Is that fair to say?
How at the moment because of the dramatic
The Aguero moment. There's literally a thing called Aguero moment all of a sudden, and that comes from Mancini's run. Then Ranieri with Leicester, that was arguably the most memorable title in the last 20 years.
Liverpool can also say, oh, the what's it called now? The point difference over which won it over City was huge. Like it was almost 20 points or so. Over that,
But guys have won it. City won it by over 19 points over. City won it by 19 points over Mourinho's 81. City, the Centurions.
Okay,
That's what I'm saying. Like, so whatever you've done, the guy in your same era, that bald guy, honestly, if Klopp decides to go and shoot Pep before he leaves, I won't be mad. To me, that would be that would be a more fitting story. Pep has completely changed the way Klopp's era would have been defined, in my opinion. But it is what it is. The guy's here.
It is what it is. It is what it is. But I think I'm confident that Klopp will go out with a bang at the end of the season. The quadruple, a quadruple. I saw I saw an argument today that some other rival fans being salty saying, "Oh, this is not the quadruple, it is a quadruple."
Well, I mean, that's fair. It's just like when City won that domestic treble. God, get out of here, man.
I mean, as I've always
Domestic treble.
as I've always said, trophy is trophy. Some of you haven't won
Yeah.
one yet this season. Some of us have. So
Oh
any
my
trophy you
God.
get-
Let's hear more about that Community Shield.
I'm saying any trophy you get and you lifted it,
Community Shield on penalty shootout as well. Nah, the shamelessness.
nobody's going to remember all that. As long as you are lifting something, if you've lifted anything this season, we can chat. So
I know you know why that Community Shield is even more disgusting? They only won it because City won the treble and they had to give second place the chance to play first. No, it's not like you won a trophy to merit it.
we won the club trophy now. Finish second.
First losers. First losers, second to Pep.
Now I will remember Klopp, the poor guy that finished second every season to Man City.
All right, guys. Okay, let's. I think we can move on from. Klopp, You guys.
Oh man, Paris is not inviting us back on the pod.
I just think he was coming here to get flowers, brother. Flowers are not dashed.
I'm not surprised. It's bad delay, I'm not surprised.
Flowers are earned over here. They are not just given.
Well, in my opinion, I think he has earned his flowers anyway. So I don't care what you guys say. As far as Liverpool fans, the majority of Liverpool fans.
So for you, is he Liverpool's greatest ever manager? I'm just curious. I know, like, is he your greatest ever manager for the last 30 years? Let's say that.
The last 30 years, I'll say yes.
Because if we go back to the 60s, 70s, and the 80s, of course, Liverpool were racking up everything.
Yeah.
He's their greatest manager in the Premier League era.
Yeah.
There you go. That's what I meant. Yeah, that's
obviously
okay.
Yeah.
Because I honestly feel I was having this conversation with my dad because my dad is a long-time Liverpool fan, big-time Liverpool fan, and he was saying the only person he can think that could have come close to what Klopp did at Liverpool is Benitez. But Benitez went to soil himself by going to Chelsea, Everton. But like Benitez is one of those people that he was thinking to himself.
Is he breaking up for you too, or is it just me?
Oh,
it's
am I back now?
for me too. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was saying,
Yeah, you're back now.
Benitez is one of those guys that my dad was basically saying he doesn't want you guys to rush into getting a new manager. Like, if Benitez hadn't gone to Chelsea and Everton, he'll be fine with him coming in to be caretaker for some time or whatever. But I think Klopp comfortably is the best manager for Liverpool in the Premier League era.
In the modern era, of course, yeah. Absolutely. Okay, so before we leave, in terms of who replaces Klopp, right? So there's the Liverpool fans are the number one trend from majority of fans I've sampled on social media is Xabi Alonso, former Liverpool player, Real Madrid player, Bayern Munich player. He's currently doing well now in Bayern Leverkusen. So, and I think I told my brother too, like Xabi Alonso is my first choice. I've seen some few clips of Leverkusen and they play beautiful stuff, like. So yeah, he's my number one choice. But they've also mentioned there's the Zerbi in Brighton, and there's the current German national team coach Nagelsmann. So I think these are like the top three. What do you guys think?
So it was Nagelsmann,
Alonso,
Zerbi, and Alonso. I think Alonso makes the most sense. But there's also the threat of Real Madrid. Obviously, he has ties to both clubs. There's so many vacancies right now, and that's why Klopp leaving is. I'll say, like, if he was considering the future of the club, it's pretty inopportune timing for me because Real Madrid job is coming open, Barcelona job is coming open. Arguably, the United job might come open, because we've seen there's new ownership. Who's to say that they stick with Ten Hag, right?
Yeah.
You've got Chelsea in a current revolving door of managers. You don't know if that's going to come open. Um, Bayern Munich look like they're going to be out
Yeah,
looking
I
for
think
a
they said
manager
Tuchel
because
is leaving at the end of the season.
there's been a lot of rumors that Tuchel's not returning there in the summer. So this is probably the worst time to be looking for a manager because all the available managers have the pick of the litter, and there's also not very many that are available that are proven and tested. So
So,
of the
so
three, if you can attract all three, right, and the club has a choice, I think Xabi makes the most sense.
absolutely, I totally agree with that. As a Liverpool fan, Xabi Alonso is my number one choice, and I think
Yeah.
Xabi Alonso. I think he also likes Liverpool. I think I don't know how true it is. I think I saw even when he was a Bayern Munich player, he was always constantly tweeting about Liverpool. He said, "Oh wow, congrats boys on the win!" Like a Bayern Munich player tweeting like a Liverpool fan. So his heart is. I think it's just for Liverpool to make that first contact, and I think it's going to be signed, sealed, and delivered.
Yeah, I mean, there's also a clip of him saying like it would be a managerial dream of his to manage Liverpool, but that was also when he was first getting started out. So you say stuff like that,
Yeah.
but again, all I'm saying is if the Real Madrid job comes open, come on, come
He's
on.
not going to Real
Yeah,
Madrid because
He's a Madrid legend.
he's not going. He's not
not,
going to choose Madrid over Liverpool. Why? Because
not
I think he's going. Sorry, before you come in, I think he's going to be circumspect. I think he's going to be like the Madrid job will come with more added pressure than the Liverpool job. The Madrid
not
job.
So don't you want a manager that's looking to deliver at the highest level? If he's going
Of
to come
course,
to you because
no,
he's scared of Madrid, then that's not a good sign.
no. He'll be like, oh,
Ah.
no, okay, let's hear Chicks. What do you have to say?
I mean, not to spoil the party or anything,
You're
but
always a spoiler.
any
You always say not to do this. Then
no,
go
no.
ahead
So
and
but,
please.
all I here is to provide much needed context. Always, isn't it? You guys shouldn't take it like I'm trying to spoil the party, but you do realize anybody you get is going to be very different from the way Klopp plays. And what does that mean? Players are going to have to leave. You're going to have to get the players the manager wants, and you're going to get into this phase where you're not necessarily rebuilding, but there's always this famous quote of "give him time." The results are not the results he wants because his players this. And if
Project.
yeah, exactly. Like, and if FSG doesn't back whichever manager they get, who is to say Xabi
Hmm.
Alonso can do more with less? Like
Right.
Klopp did a lot more with not as fine resources as Look at someone like Ten Hag getting to spend almost 300 million in not even up to a year at the job. Like if you give and nobody knows who Xabi Alonso really really is. This is his first managerial job, and then you now go to Liverpool where the fans are. You guys have been used to success, so you're not expecting him to come there and you're here in top four. So I would say as much as you want, De Zerbi or an Alonso, I feel like it would still be on ownership to properly back the manager. Because
But
anyone
in
that
that sense, don't you think Nagelsmann would probably then be the best option in terms of similar style,
yeah, except you get
not
someone
really
with a
needing much
similar
more?
style as Klopp.
Yeah.
But I like Xabi Alonso. It's just you guys are gonna
Absolutely.
have to spend.
I even want I've seen some rival fans saying, "Oh, Gabriel should not go to Liverpool, please." That's rival fans are scared. Like, ooh, this guy is a good coach. So that's one
I
of the
wouldn't
more.
say I'm scared of Xabi though. I think we're all curious,
To be
but
honest,
like fear would be like someone coming in that I know can win.
I
Xabi
would
hasn't won.
I
Like he's
would be more
exciting, but
I'll be more scared of De Zerbi than Xabi Alonso.
me too,
To
one
be
thousand
honest,
percent.
he has
Interesting.
Because he's been in the league already. He's been in the league, and he's
bro.
shown like
My thing is he has it to him. Not even him being in the league. It's just like some of the things he says and the way he carries himself. Then you now combine it with that Anfield aura. You think the place is scary to go to now. Imagine someone like Zebi that he's not, Klopp almost wants to be the villain and not be the villain. Zebi is
De
kind of,
Zerbi is ready to be the villain. Yeah,
yeah, he's
he
going to
he
embrace it.
embraces it.
But at the end of the
Another name that no one has mentioned, Thomas Frank
what?
from Brentford.
Nah.
Nah,
No, he's been linked with a lot of top jobs. I
That's
don't
what
like.
be ready
no,
to be fighting eighth place with Chelsea. You and Adam will be here doing who is the next manager for Liverpool.
no,
Adam,
no.
Adam, Adams has been watching
Oh
play.
man.
I'm sure Adams Adams got let me see
Oh.
who Frankfurt's manager is if he will fit Carnage and Nonima.
Oh my goodness.
When
Chelsea, I
Adams
don't
watches
see.
this episode back, none of us are coming back.
No, I still feel that we
Chelsea
Alonso.
have a better chance of going to go and collect a Guavon.
Adams, this one Adams is campaigning for Madueke and Carnage. Eguavon is unemployed, moving around in Nubu with his silver spoon in his hand. Eguavon will cook egusi soup for Chelsea.
Do you know Guardiola?
Do you know
Oh
Guardiola?
man. Do you know Guardiola?
What? Well, Gavon has a good playing style. Oh. Come on, Nigeria, they ask him.
It's very similar to Pep.
He just needs the minerals to land. He needs the tools.
My goodness, you guys are
Oh, man.
Tell Adam because I know
This is a Chelsea podcast. We're DC Chelsea. I beg, let's be guided.
okay.
Oh man.
All right, okay. Okay, all right. So I think we can move on from the Jurgen Klopp discussion. So, well, as a Liverpool fan, I can only hope Jurgen Klopp signs out in style, and in style can mean maybe a treble or a quadruple. We'll see how it goes. I just had to drop in there before we move on. Okay, so let's quickly move on. So like I mentioned earlier, not so much of no Premier League action this weekend. It was FA Cup. Since we have also the Tottenham fan with us, let's quickly touch briefly on Tottenham. Another season has gone. No trophies coming in for Tottenham. They've been knocked out of the FA Cup. Just like the famous words of Cellini, it's in the history of the Tottenham. It's in the history of the Tottenham. They just, the way I've forgotten how he put it. Anytime I see that, I'm always laughing. So yes. It's in the history of Tottenham, they always get so close, but they don't get it. All right, so Uzo, how did you see the game? I didn't get to see the game. How did Tottenham, in your view, how was Tottenham's approach to the game? Were they unfortunate? I think there was some sort of argument about the goal, whether the goal should have stood or not. But what's your view? Another season gone.
Yeah, for being honest, yeah, it's another trophyless season. Right. We have a very, very, very outside chance at even sniffing anywhere near the league title. And this pretty much means that top four is the goal. There's two ways to look at it, of course. From the beginning of the season, where our expectations were, is it disappointing to go out of the cup to Manchester City? Absolutely not. It's never a disappointment to go out of the cup to Manchester City. But it then shines a spotlight on the Fulham game in the League Cup, where we saw that Manchester City were not in the League Cup. And now we've seen a Chelsea side who we feel, has been poor this season in terms of their league form, are now in the finals of the Carabao Cup. And then it shines a spotlight on the fact that we went to Fulham and we laid an egg and we didn't perform. And so who knows, we could have been playing Chelsea in the semifinals or playing Liverpool in the semifinals. You just never know. So this is something that has plagued the club, bro. Every season, throwing away the cups, going out in the cups is never fun. I think this one was probably the one that was easiest to stomach because you're playing the champions of the world, you're playing the greatest team in the league, and you're not expected to go on and win. But as far as the game itself, there's the way I look at it is, as much as we were playing Manchester City, I didn't think they played particularly well in terms of their attacking portion of the game. I think they controlled the game well and they stifled us very well, but they lacked cutting edge. They didn't create any clear-cut chances. They had a goal go in that was rightfully overturned, even though it was like marginal offsides, but it was offsides. They also had a clear chance to Alvarez on the back post in the second half that he failed to convert. But besides that, they didn't have any clear-cut chances to like capitalize on all their possession and dominating the game. So it's a gut-wrenching feeling because I don't think we played up to our standard. We only had one shot on target for the entire game and none in the first half at home. And that was the first time we've done that in like 6 or 7 managers. So that's not a good look for your biggest game of the season, for you not to be able to fashion a chance on goal when we've been leading the league in shots on goal pretty much the entire season. It then points that it's a mentality thing. It's a heart thing. It's about your resolve in those big moments. Because when you play so well below your standards in a game that is important,
Yeah.
it shows that the occasion got to you. So this is something that we've been hoping that we'll get over at this club. Just get a bit of mentality, a bit of backbone, and yeah, like you brought up the Chiellini quotes, and yeah, he was spot on then. He's spot on now. Like there's a mentality problem at the club. It's not related to any one manager. It's not related to any set of players because we've changed the players, we've changed the managers, and it still runs rife within the club. And I think it's something that starts at the top. So the hope is that Ange can change that, obviously. And he's only had 1 year, so like no one is giving up on him. But that game was just a continuation and a reminder that we still have a problem at this club, learning how to win things, learning how to win important things, and learning how to perform in important moments. To compound that, I've just seen today we lost out on Antonio Nusa to Brentford. So it's not really
It's not great.
good vibes right now at
Yeah.
Spurs. It's not great vibes. We don't like playing for top four. It's repetitive. It's monotonous. Like we just sat here and pretty much tried to rubbish Klopp's legacy, and it's all in good jest. But you imagine like if he had a fraction of that success at Spurs, he would probably be being pushed as the greatest manager of all time. So it shows you like it is very difficult to win things. It's very difficult to compete for things, and the fans are not satisfied always going for top four. As much as we didn't expect top four this season, it's still very kind of reminiscent of the Pochettino run every year, top four, every year out of all the cups by January.
Yeah.
That to me, that's you want to be competing for something. That's the aim of sport. The aim of sport is to compete for important things and to win important things. And so I'm not going to sit here and try to downplay the impact of going out in all of the cups by January. So next season is going to add more pressure to deliver. Every year that we go without a trophy, it adds more pressure. So the players have to deliver. They have to understand that these moments are the most important moments of the season. I don't care what you do in the league. I tweeted saying it would be a failure if we lost to Burnley last 2 weeks ago when we played them in the FA Cup. And I maintain the same thing. It's a failure of a season whenever we fail to win something important. So the only thing we can do now is try to go ahead and challenge in the league, try to get top four, and try to go again next year. But now I'm starting to develop a very serious hatred for Brentford Football Club. I don't know what's up with these guys, man. Like, bro, what did we ever do to Brentford, bro? like, what is this? They had the Raya thing from last summer where they turned down more money from us to give him on loan to Arsenal and accept less money on the back end of it. And I'm like, what is that? Like, can the FA look into this? What have we ever done to Brentford Football Club that they continue to try to raise shoulder with us? Like, who are these guys? And we're about to play them also in a couple of days here. And honestly, I'm looking for us to if we don't turn up in that game, honestly, the season's over for me. Brentford is now my focus. Brentford is now I hate these guys now. We have to turn up and we have to beat them silly. With that Gunnar that they have running around at number 9 that just keeps twerking for Arsenal every 5 seconds. I don't know what's going on with this club. I don't know if this is some kind of feeder club for Arsenal that just have decided to have hatred for Spurs for no reason. But Brentford, my eyes are on you guys. See you soon, bastards.
Okay.
Can't stand those guys, man.
All right, man. So we cannot. So hopefully, tough for Tottenham. The next season turns out maybe a trophy for the big Ange. We can wait and see. Okay, Chooks. Chooks. So from an Arsenal point,
we give Klopp 3 years, so give Ange some time. Okay?
All right. Okay, we'll give Ange some time. Chooks, right? We can give Ange like 3 years, right? Can we?
I mean,
yeah, that should be fair.
3 years to not win any trophy is too much, but
How many years did Arteta take before he won something for Arsenal?
He won something.
6 months, yeah, first 6 months.
Oh wow, okay. Okay, so
yeah, he's special, man. I hope he goes to Barcelona to take over from Xavi.
Hey, like
the Barcelona legend, La Masia.
Exactly.
We'll give them Edward Nketiah. They will love Eddie Nketiah. They will love
package deal. Arteta and Saka package deal. Barcelona make it happen. Things are happening. What's that guy? That Gerard Moreno guy. Things are happening. Shooks, their eyes are on you now. Things are going to be happening all summer.
Oh, goodness. So, from an Arsenal point of view, no FA Cup for you guys this weekend. Look, you were knocked out in the last round by Liverpool. There's midweek Premier League action for you guys. Nottingham Forest away. I'm sure it's a must-win game. You guys have had a lot of days rest.
Nah,
Look,
I don't think the Forest is a must win game. The game on Sunday is a must win game.
what's the game on Sunday? Please let's remind. What game is that?
The game on Sunday where we send Klopp out of the Emirates with a loss is a must win game. That's what I have my eyes on. I don't care about Forest.
We should probably let's focus on the Forest fixture because I'm sure we're going to do a whole episode on this.
Right now, we need to play for pride.
The Arsenal rivalry.
Well, no, it was a nice weekend. No games, so no chance for them to ruin my week. And then it seems like Partey is back. He'll probably get injured again in the month. Jesus is injured, so probably see Eddie start against Forest. But yeah, it's just the same old, same old. Nothing shocking. We're not signing anybody as I predicted.
Well, that's true. The window is going to close like in some.
Plus, the window has been dry for almost every team. I don't think any of the top 6 teams.
Has this been one of the worst January windows we've seen in a long time for
right now? It's
Premier
like
League clubs. It feels like nobody can spend because of this sustainability thing.
Yeah, everybody's being careful,
Yeah, everybody.
People were saying City have like 150 million to spend in January. I remember a popular City aggregator on YouTube said that, and they haven't even been linked with anybody, much less look like they're signing anything.
I think they signed a young star from Argentina.
Yeah, Echeverri.
Yeah,
Claudio Echeverri, the supposed next Messi. We'll see.
Yeah, I saw. He's a good player. I watched a bit of the under 17 World Cup. Yeah. He's a good player. I think he was one of the highest goal scorers. I'm not sure, but decent player, young player. We'll see. I think I think are they going to loan him out or something? Or
probably. I don't think he will. But I mean, like he's not one of those signings where they are signing him for him to be a factor in this half of this season. So everyone is going to carry what they have till May.
Okay. All right. No worry. Okay, let's leave club football now and switch over to the African Cup of Nations. As Nigerians, like majority of Nigerians are buzzing. I've never had this. Nigeria has not given me this kind of buzzing. Like I don't know, it's almost 2 years or 3 years now. I remember the low of losing out to the World Cup playoff to Ghana. Sometimes, yeah, that was like one of the lows for me.
That nasty Thomas Partey goal too.
Yeah, Uzoho, what a horrible goal to concede that day.
He had Uzo's cousin.
Second leg World Cup playoff. It was so annoying, man. So that was like a real low. I think that was the point where many Nigerians just like, we don't really care about Super Eagles. A lot of interest. Even since when this AFCON has started, the result leading up to it has been 4 World Cup qualifiers, 2 draws, losing friendlies, drawing to Saudi Arabia 2-2. Like Saudi Arabia beating in a friendly. So the vibes was not good coming into the tournament. And even when the tournament even started, so even when you were like, okay, let's just even see what they're going to play. Like the way we play, the pattern of play doesn't really inspire confidence in you. But yesterday was I don't know, was a bit. I wouldn't say it was the performance was better than what we've seen in recent time. But I just feel like the pattern of play is not still appealing to the eye. From my own point of view, I don't know. You guys will have something different. I'll come to you shortly, but like I was just mentioning to Uzo before we started the show, right? I remember this time, 2019, the last was it 2019 or the last AFCON? We won all our group games. They go on playing some of very lovely stuff, only to get knocked out by Tunisia in the round of 16. And the argument is, I think we even played better than what we're playing now. But here we are, we're in the quarterfinal, and the last time when we supposedly played better, we're knocked out in the round of 16. So yeah, that's the positive to take away, into the quarterfinals. We're going to play Angola. And another thing is that I think I like the side of our draw. I was studying the side of the draw this morning. So we play Angola in the quarterfinals. If we win, we play the winner of there's a Cape Verde, Mauritania, South Africa, and then Morocco. So that that the side of the draw looks good. We'll kind of like avoid Senegal and some other heavyweights, Egypt on the other side of the draw. So I think we're looking good, to do something in this AFCON. Let's see how it goes. And one thing that the side of the draw, many teams are like, oh, it's only Morocco that is the real force for us. That I'll say, okay, they are the ones that can beat Nigeria, based on what they did in the last World Cup, first African team to get to the semi-final. So they came into the tournament with some pedigree. So people are like, ooh, if we get to there, like if we get to the semi-final and meet them, then they might be the ones that will eventually stop us from maybe getting to the final and winning the trophy. And then, but me as a positive Nigeria, cynical Nigeria, I'm like, don't worry, somebody's gonna knock Morocco out for us before we eventually get there. We'll see. We'll see how it
I
goes.
think I think we've
Maybe
not.
maybe Amapiano FC can do us a favor, eh?
Yeah, that's what some people have said. South Africa will shock them and won't
I
get to
think we should wait and beat Angola
Angola
first instead of
first.
taking too far ahead because
Ahead.
that's what happens with Nigeria. This is the cycle with Nigeria all the time. Once they reel you in and you start to believe, we'll
They
go to
just
Angola now collect five.
because and the thing is Angola this tournament I've watched them. I don't know if any of you guys have seen their games. They play some good stuff like
Yeah, they played some good.
good,
To be
like
honest, I feel like that Angola game is all on our goalkeeper getting fit because if Uzoho wears those his Okrika gloves to stand in the post, brothers, it is finished. Ogola,
that's
that's how they say it in Igbo.
and
It don't cast.
Gas. And I
But
and I and I don't think Wabali is going to be fit for that game. I don't know.
man, they need to
Did you see the reporters? They were saying, God, I beg, please,
but
I
I
beg
think
you.
they need to
Because the guy
I love
the
my
thing is
Nigerians.
he has been faultless. Like he has been doing like he has been playing like he has been playing for years.
Uzoho's
Confident.
Yeah.
Uzoho's
Even when
first
he's
goal.
under pressure, he's kind of okay with his feet. He even
Yeah,
still tries
he's a decent guy. Uzoho's first goal kick was straight to Abubakar's chest. Like
just look at
at,
that.
at
So
least fool us that you are on our side.
One thing I always say is the way you can tell if a player one thing I like about American football is there's a term that they say like they don't say like how we say star boy or potential. They just say like he can play. Like you see somebody do certain actions and like they understand the sport. They have like they have a footballing brain.
yeah, football IQ stuff.
Like I think of like a guy like Enyama who I think is one of the greatest goalkeepers in African history, right?
Yeah,
But there's certain actions that he does with the ball, and you say this guy understands that position. Like he's Sabian. Like there's a roll, there's a kick, there's a throw. Something you will see from a keeper that this one you have studied the position, you have practiced it, you know how
yeah,
to play it. I saw those same things from Wambali. He just there's a poise, there's a throw, there's everything, right? Then I look at Uzoho, and he just looks like a tall guy that they sent to go and play keeper. Like you looked around and you found the tallest guy and you said, enter post, enter post, enter post, you sabi. Just try, just dive small, you save it. He hasn't learned the position. He hasn't practiced his craft. I'm sorry, like I watch him and I don't think he understands the sport. I don't think he has the nuance of the position. And so I don't trust the guy in goal. I don't trust him to do anything. I don't think he's going to get better because obviously his attitude stinks. Talking about, oh, if he's easy, go do him. You are not making it look easy in either way. You are just tall. It's just that simple. He's just tall, and then people thought that he can play keeper. I just don't think he's good. I don't think that there's anything that tells me that he's going to ever give us the performances that we need. So the hope is that either Wabali is fit by Angola game, or we find a way to sneak past that game, and then Wabali is fit for the rest of the tournament. Because
Yeah, he
if we
can't.
don't have him for the rest of the tournament, I'm sorry to say, we have a 0% chance.
so meaning
Yeah,
Because we have seen these guys in the high pressure games.
yeah,
Ghana, last AFCON, they will continue to let you down.
yeah, they will. Plus, the Cameroon game was more on both teams just not being at
At
the
the
level
races, yeah.
required. Because all the chances that we smoked against, see what I looked at the goals Angola was scoring. Like, if we go into a game and we concede early, I feel like it's over because between Osimhen always crying about every little contact and us not just creating enough to be like, okay, there's some. It's like like the teams you all support, even Spurs, Liverpool. If you guys go down first, you're not as worried because okay, we have enough to create something to score. But I look at Nigeria. I'm thinking to myself, if we concede an early goal, the game might be done. Because
We're a defensive minded team. As
yeah,
much as we have all these strikers, we win with our defense first, and they
yes,
have not to, in that we do have to shout out the defense and say they have been faultless this tournament. I think that
no, they
we've had
have,
the best
and
defense so far in the
they
tournament.
need to be for us to keep going forward.
Yeah.
Because if we cannot score, we cannot concede. It's just how this game works. If you don't want to score, you cannot concede any chances.
Exactly. So, like, I just feel like we're not even creating enough. Like, fine, Osimhen had
Yeah,
a
why
good
not?
game, but we're not creating it. Like, someone was saying that we don't have a ball. Like, Iwobi has not been. Like, we don't have a ball carrying midfielder. That can, someone that can, go with the ball. Like, just most of the
I
time they
think it's
just.
not even that. I think it's an imbalance in the formation because like Aino has been very good going forward. I think you even saw when Basi came over to the left back, like he was pretty good going forward. But for some reason, we're just obsessed with giving the ball to Zaidu Sanusi as if he's Messi. And the
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
guy
also like
doesn't even have any football in his mind.
playing too much, too. We're trying to force it too much. I would like to see. I saw a little bit in the second half where, like, when Basi has the ball, like you're creating a little like connection with like the players around you, where you pass,
Yeah.
you kind of
Combination
draw, yeah, you
play.
kind of
Combination
draw.
play.
They were drawing Cameroon to one side, as opposed to whenever they get the ball, either they're trying to send it long to Osimhen or
yeah.
just play it to the middle.
Those long balls were
Long.
killing me
There's
softly,
so many
man. They
long
were
balls.
killing me
I
softly.
don't
How
know.
did you do it?
I
I
think
said,
that has to do with the coach. Like,
yeah, it has to be on him because I said, Onyeka, you did do this one for Brentford. Onyeka
and
was sending so much long, but like, bro, has Thomas Frank taught you this one?
and
You're
like
giving him
even
freedom to
the way
express
we play even
himself.
overworks. I think the way we even play even overworks Osimhen. Like the guy was dead on his feet towards the end of the game. He was running, going after every long ball. He was just like, can't like why not? And that's why I think his goals have not even been like he just got one goal throughout the tournament so far. I just feel like that's another thing. He's like he has not had the good support. Our wingers can't even cross to save their lives. Just
Yeah, his pressing from the front has been good. It was very good in that game. I think it really, really destabilized Cameroon. But we have to remember, like, we weren't playing a good team. I'm sorry, Cameroon are absolutely awful.
yeah, awful.
Absolutely awful. They didn't have any ideas. Even down 1-0, right? Knowing that in this tournament there's been a lot of late goals, there's been a lot of dramatic equalizers and teams fighting towards the end. They couldn't put together a single 5 minutes of good play to generate a decent chance. Everything that they were doing was just lumping the ball into the box and hoping, praying. Or they would give it to that Magri guy and he'll
But
get clamped by whichever fullback is on him.
indomitable lions, people sent on the
Very
call
They
of
guy.
Abubakar to do
I
what?
think I think Nigeria is going to get tested against Angola, man. I think
Now they
Yeah,
will.
definitely.
If you want
Because if you remember when we played a good footballing side in Equatorial Guinea, like that was our hardest game of the tournament so far.
yeah, history. Like
Everybody else that we've played have been just far below standard, and
yeah,
now we're going to go play a team that we've seen them play well in a high stakes game, in a knockout game.
yeah.
So we'll see. If we get past Angola, like I like our chances. I like our chances, but between Uzoho coming back into the fold, or more.
And
I
Wabi.
don't know. I don't know. I'm not. I don't like. What's the words from Charles Barkley? Oh man, we don't want to see that. We don't want to see. We don't want to see that
Really,
at all.
not just the prayer now from so many Nigerians. Like the guy should just be fit for that
Yeah,
game.
Bali needs to be fit. He needs to be fit. Even if he can't use his legs, let him just stand in that post. At least he just brings a more fear factor. That because I think honestly, like looking back at the game against Ghana, right, that we went out. I think the only thing that encouraged Partey to even take that shot is just seeing who was in goal. He
Hmm.
just felt like, you know what? Last, if I just get this ball on target, there's a chance that this guy is going to fumble it. And that's just such a gut-wrenching thing to see from your goalkeeper. It doesn't inspire any confidence. But so far so good. We've been marching on, being able to be in the tournament longer than the likes of Cameroon and Ghana is always a thing to be celebrated. Always.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. That's why so many Nigerians are buzzing. So many people can't chat to us now. If we roast you,
Facts. Facts. Even if we jabber now, I'm not trying to hear nothing from them. I'm
yeah,
not trying to hear
absolutely.
nothing
yeah,
from them,
we've
especially
already
Ghanaian.
already gone past
Yeah.
the
This
hard.
game is a hatred ball. It's about surviving longer than your enemies. If we can just find a way to outlast Senegal, honestly, I don't even care about winning it.
Yeah,
That will complete the trifecta.
I know football is such a funny game. No, I don't know why I just have this. So I think tomorrow is Senegal versus Ivory Coast, the hosts. That's like a huge game. I was even hearing that like
Anything can happen.
yeah,
Anything
like
can happen.
it can happen. It's just football is so funny. People are just saying, "Oh, Senegal will
Guys,
outrun them."
guys, please. Let's not do that.
Let's not get carried
We're
away.
going to we're going to farm Africa tomorrow. All this talk is the see the ball they are
Is
playing.
ho- is hopium.
As Pepe,
Hopium.
Nicolas Pepe will go as Pepe.
Just one more thing for me, Baba. That same favor that I asked last time, Pepe, please. Just one more thing, please.
Please, for you, my friend.
All I need is one jammy 90 plus 7 goal that is questionable, but because they are
Absolutely,
the host, it's fair. I
Oh
don't know
no,
absolutely.
if you saw the caption that they placed after the Nigerian game where they were saying that at least nobody can accuse them of cheating because I guess they were feeling like these decisions has gone against them. They were saying that they put on the most fair tournament. I was like, so what are they insinuating that because we got a penalty against them, we were cheated for or something?
I mean that is AFCON heritage. Who told you not to cheat?
Like it's their main page that put that
Those,
on Instagram as well. That
those,
was funny to
those,
me.
those before you cheated. Those I dare them, bro. That AFCON there, Abuja. Lights for off. Sharp, sharp. They will say, man, that
Collecting 4-0 on your own turf to a team that is inferior to you is
due,
just wow.
due to unforeseen circumstances, we will have to postpone the game.
Oh my goodness. Oh. So what? Interesting. I just I have a feeling that Ivory Coast beat Senegal tomorrow.
But that
I just
feeling
want
might just be hunger, man. Go and eat.
no,
Yeah,
the about I just want
has
all
not
the
had
teams
nice
that
cap. He's
so all the
hungry.
teams so all the teams that like I feel like I trade to Nigeria, Morocco, Senegal. I just want somebody to beat them for us before we eventually get there.
But
Well,
honestly, those kind of teams, man, they come into a game with us. They might actually afford us the space and the quality chances that we need to get our attack firing. So we don't know. We never know.
yeah,
Honestly, the way I know and Bassi have been playing, right? A better coach holds this team. We go to a back four and we get a midfield maestro in that middle. You
Yeah,
never know.
I
yeah,
You
know.
never know.
I
That's
was
just the problem.
I was on my feet with my hands like this. He did it while sagging his short knicker.
While
Man,
sagging his shorts.
nah. I know.
I'll go so far to say Olaino has made sagging great again. I will sag my pants tomorrow in honor of him.
No, he bought.
no,
Those are the kind of people that his name should have been Bolaji Aina.
the guys. I don't know why. I don't know why he didn't really make it. The guy has been superb. I don't know why he hasn't really didn't make it at Chelsea. He looks
There's
unbeatable.
no
Like
surprise there. Chelsea is not a place that you go to go and make it.
Come on now. You have Chelsea fans now, scouting managers. Think they know player talent. Let them find manager
in
first.
fact, in fact, not making it at Chelsea is a sign that you're actually decent. Look at the guys like De Bruyne and Salah that didn't make it.
I know Rice. But then again, Eddie came from Chelsea. Ugh.
okay, all right, guys. Before we end the show, right? So I think one of the questions I'll ask is okay. Two questions before we end, right? So are you still sticking with? I don't. I think last week. I think Chooks, I think you said Senegal to still win it. Are you still sticking with Senegal to still win it?
Yeah.
Uzo, are you also still sticking with Senegal to win it as well? Okay. And then
1,000%.
okay, all right then.
I think Nigeria play for third place. I think the final is going to be Senegal and Morocco,
I mean,
and I think we lose to Morocco in the
In the
semifinals,
final. I,
and then we'll have us winning the third place game over um maybe Congo.
yeah,
Nigeria, feel free to shock me. I
yeah.
want
Hey,
I want to eat my words. But to be
I'm
honest,
not I'm not a tactical. I don't know anything. Feel free to prove me wrong. Let them drag me.
one thing I will say, if we do meet Morocco, I don't want to lose to Morocco. I'll rather anything. I'd rather we lose to Angola than not. If we go play any of those quote unquote Arab nations that are not really Africans, I
Yeah,
want
I
to beat them.
understand. I
There's
understand
no
you.
way I will stomach losing to Morocco. But
And
let's beat Angola first and see what happens.
the funny thing about it is that Morocco, I've watched them in this tournament and they've not really been that like blown my mind. Like wow, like this Senegal have been like, oh, I've
Yeah,
just watched them. Like,
they've had a finishing problem.
yeah, I think they have a finish. They have like
Yeah,
a
if they don't have a striker. Because
yeah,
I have a few Moroccan friends and they're like they will trade strikers, they will give us midfielders and collect Osimhen because
Yeah,
they can
they don't
hold
have.
the ball. They are very properly coached, but they can't finish.
Yeah, they are well. They are properly drilled. Like
But the thing is, with the knockout games, that's where like I look at it and I see all you have to do is stay in the game, get it
Yeah,
to
you have to stay in
penalties,
the game.
and that's how they progressed in the World Cup was they
I mean,
just
stayed
no,
in the
the
game.
World Cup was different because
they were
they were a little
underdogs.
bit on the defense. Like now in the
Yeah,
AFCON, they are the ones that are
Yeah, I
going to
get.
be on the, like, if you look at the heat map, they're going to be everyone on the pitch. So it's be more on, if we do play Morocco, is stay in as long as possible and nick one nasty goal and just wait till they give you another chance to counter.
exactly. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see what
let's get by Angola first.
exactly before we start looking ahead. Okay. Okay. The final question, right, guys? So like post Afcon for Nigeria now. So there are crucial World Cup qualifying games. Like what we established before, is important that Nigeria qualifies for the World Cup in US 2026. So we're already and looking at the our group already. We're already on the back foot already. 2 games, 2 draws. So we're already behind. Do you think this coach, with the style of play we're playing, do you think this coach is the right man to lead us in those qualifiers? I'm worried because if this guy has a good tournament now, they'll be like, oh, let's leave him. There, he's fine, he's the man. And then when we enter into those World Cup qualifying games, where we're like more, because looking at our group, we're like the favorites. I'm looking at Zimbabwe, I'm looking at Lesotho, I'm looking at Rwanda, I'm looking at South Africa. Nigeria is like the favorite. So when we're not like, okay, people expect us to now qualify, where the pressure is on us, is this man the right man? I'm not sure about that. I have my
I mean,
worries.
I think based off the countries that are there, and anyone really should be able to stick us through. If he can make us a proper defensive team, I would honestly stick with him just because if you do go to the World Cup, it's not the tournament you should be rubbing shoulders with those people.
Exactly.
If you can go in there and find ways to just stay in games and win games, because if we can
Absolutely.
perfect our transition game, then what will honestly look very scary. Because if we are good defensively and we find a way to, on those counter attacks, don't waste the ball because sometimes the passes are too heavy or they are too short. If we
Yeah.
find a way to actually give Osimhen more chances than what he's
Yeah.
getting.
I'm
Well,
seeing I'm seeing breaking news that Ateta is leaving at the end of the season. Is this true? No, no, I'm being dead serious.
I used to,
The guy is on pro football.
I've not seen any
Okay,
news on that.
but I just saw my Goldsby's channel, That's Football, just reposted sport, and they have 2 million followers, and they tweeted it. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll
But that
see.
would be very random because he supposed to announce a new contract.
Yeah, maybe
Well,
we'll go and
How-
carry Klopp.
this episode is a graveyard for managers. My goodness, if true, that's insane.
That would be good.
Now,
So,
if he goes,
See your mates, Pep. See you stay forever. It's like that senior that doesn't want to graduate. Go, move on.
okay, guys.
This is insane.
All right, guys. I think we've come to the end of this episode. Yep. We've come to the end of the episode. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Uzo. Thank you, Chicks, for coming along, for taking out time from your busy schedules to join us. Much appreciated. So, guys, as usual, please don't forget to do the usual. Make sure you
Like, subscribe, comment, come and
all that
argue with
stuff.
Chooks about. Remember, he said that Klopp is not a top
Guy,
10 manager in this
they were-
league.
I just remember they were
Come
okay.
and argue.
They were cooking my guy on Twitter, Uzo, on the Osimhen. They were like, this guy, whenever I enter pitch play ball before, see, you go know them when they talk. I was just laughing. All
I
right,
did that to them. They dragged me, they dragged me nice.
all right, guys. All right, guys. Take care, and we'll see you next week.
See you guys.
See you guys.